Howdy, folks. My name is Brady Byrum. I'm a paralegal researcher, and I've known Kent Hovind only for about a year and a half in person, but I knew of him. We had a set of his VHS tapes from, goodness, over 15, 20 years ago. At any rate, when he got out of prison, he came to Dallas, and I got to meet him in person, and that's when I asked him for a copy of his indictment, because I wanted to do my research into his indictment and see if it was legitimate or not, and then make public my analysis of it. So shortly after he left Dallas, he got a copy of his indictment to me, and I began analyzing. Well, it took about 15 months to go through all 58 counts that were filed against him, and 45 counts against his wife then, Joe Hovind. And so it took 15 months to document all of the evidence that I found, but they put it out there across the whole nation that he was guilty of all of these offenses. I'm here to tell you that in digging into each and every one of those charges, I found that he was completely innocent. Now, their conviction of him is going to stand the way it is unless somebody, and I know of at least a couple of attorneys that want to file documents into court to reverse those charges. But I don't know how much of the evidence of this video series that they're going to be using or in what format they're going to file it in. But anyway, the goal of the lawyers is to reverse the charges. And ultimately, the main goal is to have him compensated for the damages that they've caused him. But we can't get to that. They won't be able to file for that until the charges gets reversed. There's a doorway, a locked door called the Heck Doctrine. It's a Supreme Court case called Heck versus Humphreys. And if you have a criminal conviction, you cannot sue for damages until you get that criminal conviction overturned. Well, so in looking at this, we found that the documents that would be filed to reverse it would have to go right back to the very same judge that ran the case 10 years ago. And so because there was so much fraud that I found in my research that goes against the 3 federal prosecutors who created that indictment, it also included the judge's collusion and conspiracy in on that fraud. There's no other way it could be. And so if a lawyer were to take this information and try to reverse those charges at this point, it would go right back to the very same judge's desk. And so we know she's not going to reverse her own conviction of Kent Hovind, because it would be an admission that she did commit fraud and conspiracy 10 years ago. She's just not going to do that. So in the process of reaching the $30 million goal that Kent is due, and knowing we have to file, or not we, because I'm not a lawyer, I wouldn't be doing the filing, but the lawyers would be filing the documents to reverse those criminal charges on the fraud that I found, then we realized, and I realized that we've got to have the judge impeached first. So they set the bar when they prosecuted Kent at beyond a reasonable doubt. That's what they tell the jurors. Now, they won't tell the jurors of a specific number of probability that somebody's guilty of a crime. But if you ask most jurors, they set this mental picture of somewhere in between 75 and 85% of they estimate where the probability of guilt is. And so beyond that level is what the prosecutors want to secure a conviction of somebody that they've accused. Well, I'm not setting it at that level. I'm telling everybody that if and only if I prove 100% fraud in this nearly 12 hours of research, it took me 15 months to write. If I can prove 100% fraud, then I'm asking you to join in video number 8 and help me impeach that federal judge. If I don't prove 100% fraud on all 58 counts, then do not participate in video 8. And so I've set the bar to the absolute max, 100%. I guess in theory we could get a few more people to participate if I set the bar where they set the bar to convict Kent. So they set it theoretically somewhere around 75 to 80 or 85% probability of conviction, but I'm setting it at 100%. So the website that I want y'all to go to is KentHovind.com. 4 words, no dash, no dot, no space between the words. KentHovind.com. So what I'm asking you to do is forward this video to as many people as possible, and especially to Christian pastors, especially to them. Let me tell you why. Kent Hovind is a fantastic minister, and he has just a special blessing in how to get across the message of the creation and the flood and the coming judgment. And like nobody else does. There's some others that are out there, and they do a great job, but Kent just does it his own special way. And if you've ever seen his videos, I think you'll understand. At any rate, a lot of pastors dropped Kent off of the speaking role engagement sheet that they have. They pretty much dropped him because of these convictions. And so before, he was speaking up to 700, 800, maybe 900 times a year. Since he got out of prison, it's not been that many. And so the ultimate goal is to get the gospel out. And so this vindication series hopefully will convince Christian pastors to go, hey, he really didn't commit any crimes. So let's put him back on the list and get him out here to our church. And so this is my part to prove his innocence and to promote the kingdom in that manner. So please follow through. KentHovind.com. Please spread that out and help us to impeach the federal judge, and then the lawyers can work at reversing the charges, and then ultimately he would be able to get access to the settlement that he is due. Thank you so much.